What is going on, everyone? It's good to be here on another freestyle jam with you. You know how it goes. We bring awesome people to these freestyle jams that, of course, are here to inspire you to hopefully build a brighter future for yourself, or, even just leaving with a little golden nugget from time to time that you can apply to your existing business as well, right? Asphalt happens to be the gateway, the portal, but there's so much behind that. So it is awesome to be here. Ben O'Callahan, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us, man.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, it's an honor to be here. Really got a lot of inspiration from you and just all the other people who kind of shared their story. Like I said, I've worked in facilities maintenance for federal contracts for the last 10 years, and started as a technician, worked up to a director. Just kind of found that it wanted something else. Wanted to do something my own way, and just kind of seeing all of your videos and just kind of the barrier to entry to start, is relatively low. Or, it can be as low as you want. And me just having a family, 2 kids in daycare, so this is a way for me to kind of get started and just see if this is for me and see if this is something that I can really build. And I was slow
Awesome.
walking it at first, trying to work my job full time, do this on the side. Well, I was really slow walking it, and to the point where I said, you know what, I've got the business out there. Now's the time to shine. Let's just go for it. And so I'm went all for it, all in. I'm in for it, and it's been a great journey. So I mean, I've started getting some commercial clients. Actually, this morning I met with somebody local, commercial, and just got a gig for 3 properties. So I'm
Amazing.
I'm riding pretty high right now.
Cool.
Because I that
Cool.
happened maybe 15 minutes before we got on.
It's the way the universe works, man. It's like success attracts success, man. When you start getting into those winds and vibrations and you maintain that mindset of a winning mindset, a winning mentality, it's amazing what's attracted to you. And I think that's such an important thing, man, because I definitely want to dig into Prime Escape Solutions. But you're located in Elkin, North Carolina, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm in the like Western North Carolina, kind of the foothills. So like about an hour north of Charlotte, hour 15 north of Charlotte, like an hour east of Boone. Really a cool area, just beautiful country, and just a
Yeah.
great place to live and do work. But so like I said, I have a facilities maintenance background, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the approach that I've been leading with. Is everything needs maintenance, your asphalt included, and I try to look at it as like I'm here to help you save money long term. And so it's like, this is an asset that does depreciate, and, I can help you prolong that asset over time if, we just do proper maintenance. And so just me kind of being in facilities maintenance for the last 10 years, I have a little bit of a reputation in my area. And
Yeah.
so that's really helped me just kind of get into, the rooms with some of the people who have those properties, and even just give me the confidence, to feel like I belong in those spaces. And
Yeah.
so I was telling you just to start. Yeah, I started off with a AK-55 sprayer, and
Yeah. Drum sprayer.
I've been going at it. I mean, so I'm buying a bigger setup today, actually.
That's what Addie said, man.
The
I'm so
Airboss
excited for you.
300. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm so
congrats.
pumped for that, man. Like I cannot wait
Game
to.
changer.
I don't even know what I don't know yet about how much this is going to be a game changer.
Crazy difference. Like unbelievable. You're going to be 5, 6, 7 times more productive, man. It is going to game change your
Yeah,
business. Yeah, yeah.
I can't wait because even right now I'm all of my supplies are based out of the house, and I know all my neighbors are probably going to be pumped to see all these barrels kind of be replaced with totes and bigger setups. So I'm really excited for that. And like I said too, just like having that commercial style
Yeah.
equipment gives me the confidence to go after those commercial jobs. And
I- from a facility management perspective, it's interesting, and I think this is a real solid golden nugget for any of you watching right now. This is really, really important. A lot of us starting out in business, we may not have the gift of the gab. We may not have the comfort of being able to go and speak to people, and that's something that is really challenging when you're building a business, because you do need to speak with people. You do need to break that ice, and if you're bootstrapping this thing, it's not easy to just go out and hire a big sales team out of the gate. Like that's not just it's not something that a lot of us really have access to when we're first starting out. And I think also the other thing is when we're first starting out, we're unsure of whether or not this thing is going to be as big as what you've seen in all the videos. And
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, okay, well, Judd's saying a lot of this stuff in the videos. People in the round table are saying this stuff, but is it really true? And
Yeah.
then you start to do the things that we're recommending do, and you start doing the YouTube University, and you start noticing that with more conversations, there's more interest, and it's like all of a sudden proposals are in people's hands, and then those
Hmm.
proposals start converting, and you're like, oh my goodness, the dominoes are hitting each other here, and there's a result that's coming out of those actions. And I think that for people on here right now, you've got to start somewhere. And so if you're fearing communicating or speaking with someone, practice. Like just do it with a family member, do it with a friend, and just get in that environment of having these conversations. But I think that there's something really important that you said that, again, for you watching this video right now, write this down. You said asset management. And to me, that's something that a lot of us don't practice. Instead, we say, hey, you know what? I'm an actual, I own an asphalt maintenance company, or I own an asphalt repair company, or a seal coating business. And it's like, no, you don't. You
Hmm.
provide asphalt maintenance services and asphalt repairs as a service, but you're actually a pavement asset management company that's
Right.
committed to keeping pavements safe, long lasting, and looking great. And if you can roll that off your tongue when you're speaking with facility managers or property owners, all of a sudden you're communicating in this different premier mindset of the way that your business is actually built to run, not just an asphalt maintenance business. And
Yeah.
so from your side as a facility manager in your past, I'm sure that if you would have had somebody come up and say, oh, I'm a seal coating business, that's very different than saying, hey, Ben, I own a pavement asset management business. We focus on getting rid of all the liabilities on your parking lot. We also focus on extending the life of it through maintenance schedules. And we also make it look great for all of your tenants and for your business. And that's a different communication style, right?
For sure. And to like, just talking about having the confidence to communicate, it's
Yeah.
like that should give you that gives me confidence because it's like, I know that I'm providing a service that is going to help them out. So it's like, you know, this is my business helping them out, but it's they're benefiting from it because their asphalt's going to be, the life expectancy will be prolonged. I'm benefiting from it because I'm getting to do the work. And so really like both parties can win, and that's what gives me the confidence just to kind of go out and approach those people because it's I'm not trying to sell them something that's fly by the wall. This is going to be something that they're not going to be happy with or that they're not going to benefit from. It's like you guys are going to see the benefits, reap the rewards, and that will help my business. So it's like I feel confident in talking with people because I know that this is going to help them, which will help me as well.
I love that, man. And the thing too is like you started in June. Like I think that's like 4 months ago. Is that right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and really
like
full time just a few weeks ago.
so so let me understand this. You started 4 months ago and you're moving into this full time, or are you going?
So I started 3 months ago part time, and then about 3 weeks ago, I did it started full time. So
So
it
did you
just
resign? Did you resign?
yeah, yeah. So I'm no longer a W-2 employee. Yeah, I just like I said, I was slow walking it so much. People were blowing me up, and I'm like, man, I'm like 3 months out right now because I'm just doing it on the weekends or using a lot of PTO. And I just told my wife, she knows that I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset. And like I was telling you to begin with, it's like the barrier to entry was low, relatively. And I was like, man, I can really do something with this. And like I just gained confidence in the work that I was doing, just throughout doing people's driveways and just kind of understanding the equipment better and just the whole process. And like one thing that I did that I still do is after every job that I do, I like to kind of sit down, write some notes like what went well, what didn't go well, how can I improve what didn't go well, or if I made mistakes, like why did I make those mistakes, and how can I be better the next time. So it's like I'm trying to get better after each job that I do, and so it's like my confidence level just keeps getting higher and higher, that it's like, hey, I really feel like I'm a true professional now, and it's like I have confidence going into anywhere because it's like I don't know who can, not that I'm that arrogant, but it's like I feel good enough to where you guys are going to be happy with these results.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, cool. So listen, first off, when I get into conversations like this and I hear that somebody has moved on from being an employee who is not starting a business to build themselves a job, because that's not what you're doing. You do not want to build a job for yourself. You want to
Right.
build a business, man. And like, that's the
100%.
thing is like when we think of a business, we're thinking about like we've got our digital presence for our business, all of the intellectual property, our customer management system, the pavement assessment modules, the way that we write compelling, emotionally compelling proposals, the way
Hmm.
that we have our automation and our workflows that are following up afterwards, that's allowing us to have more time to focus on the things that are driving higher conversion results. And then we sit there and say, man, do we have the revenue roadmap set up? Like, I want to make, for example, next year in 2026, you say hypothetically, I want to make 400 grand. What do we need to do in revenue to achieve that? And what are the number of proposals we need to put out annually at this conversion rate in order to achieve that result? And it's like, as soon as we start systemizing these things,
That's it.
we end up in a spot where this becomes a numbers game. We can gamify. And then I think that, like just for any of you watching, I know that this might sound like drinking from a fire hose. You don't have to eat the whole elephant at once. You can do this in bite-sized pieces. And that's like precisely, just transparently, that's what we're passionate about at AK, is giving these videos and golden nuggets and things and roundtables so that you can actually just build a little bit more perspective, but also have an understanding of what needs to get done. And it's like, I don't want anybody coming into this industry just going out and working hard. Like, that's working hard is like, is literally like spinning aimlessly and potentially moving in the wrong direction. Working hard doesn't mean that we're working strategically and tactically to
Hmm.
achieve the freedom that we want in our life. And so, like, give me an example, and just give me a shoot. I want to like put it up in that high bar for 2026. How much money how much revenue do you want to make with this business?
So my goal is 500,000. And yeah, like you said, I'm trying to gamify it to a degree. So I might not be as well prepared to gamify that yet. This year I have like square footage minimums that I want to put out per week, per month. And so like what I'm doing right now, like I want to make sure I hit at least, 15,000 square feet in quotes per week. And then ideally, I'd like to get about 10,000 square feet per week in actually jobs converted. And then next year I've got a little team that I'm working with that works with me on a part-time kind of gig basis. But I told them, hey, like I need you to be mastering your craft as well, because next year, next spring, we're gonna really be hitting it hard, and I'd love for you to come on full time, and they would too. So they've worked with me on some of the bigger jobs, and just as much as I'm learning, they're wanting to learn so that they can become tradesmen in the industry as well.
That's huge. Mastering your craft is a big portion of this. Again, are we getting a job or are we building a business? Building a business with a premier mindset is crucial for anyone that's building a business. It's so crucial. On our last roundtable, which was on Wednesday, 2 days ago, I brought my buddy Lee Lois. I don't know if you happen to see that roundtable, but it's worth the watch. And
Okay.
your staff, any of your part-time team members or whoever should also watch it. Lee Lois, 50-year veteran in the industry, Hall of Famer, was president and CEO of Gem Seal, one of the biggest seal coat
Yeah.
manufacturers, built a seal coat plant, sold it. On September 18th at 7 p.m., we're hosting a learning session with him. It's a 90-minute learning session about asphalt maintenance and seal coat and getting into the granular aspects of understanding coatings at a deeper level and mixed design and additives and all that stuff. And I think that that's so important for all of us, is that like, we're not out there just selling seal coat. Like, that's not it. Not every parking lot should have the same application, same
Hmm.
type of seal coat. Sand in your seal coat should be different loads based upon the asphalt's age and texture. Your mix design should be custom tailored to this. When you go to a steakhouse, and it's a real good steakhouse, and you ask for medium rare because that's what you need to eat to love what it is that you're going to taste, you better get medium rare.
Right.
If you get the well done, it doesn't work. And I'm going to use that as an analogy. You go to a 20-year-old parking lot and you throw down some asphalt emulsion seal coat that has zero in it, and you just spray down one coat on it. That's not the way that you're supposed to preserve and protect pavement. That will make it black for a little while, but it's not the proper application. And so understanding these things is where we master our craft. Why do we do it? Not because you can close a deal one time, it's no problem. You can do the job and get paid, but that's transactional. And it's the intent of that is just to make some quick money. If the
Hmm.
intent is different than that, and I call it purity of intent, which is I want to build lifelong accounts,
For
you better
sure.
do a really good job doing the right job up front so that your expectations that you've set with the customer are accomplished. but then you're also over delivering on the value because it's gone past the expectation. And that to me is such an important thing. So, like for you right now, you must be kind of like, okay, I've got belief and conviction. I've left my job to build my business. Yes. Now it's what do I need to do in order to accelerate the way that I'm going to build more of the right kind of lifelong accounts? And
Hmm.
so I'm gonna shoot something to you and I'm gonna challenge. This is really, really cool. And this is a really important note. We're gonna watch this. I know that so many people are gonna watch this video again, and this engaged conversation is what fires me up. And by the way, like for anyone watching, we don't script this. There's no bullet points. Ben and I have never spoken in the past. We've never been
Yeah.
on Zoom. Like we've
Yeah.
never had this kind of a meeting, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Cool. And now I feel like, we're buds and we're able to move and,
I
and continue
know.
to, I feel like I've known you for ages because the way we're communicating. And I love that. So let's inspire some people right now. Check this out. And you too, man. Like, okay, if we want to do $500,000 next year, it means that we have to do 50 $25,000 jobs. Is that right?
Hmm.
Okay. So if we have to do 50, is that right? 50 times 25.
Yeah.
Is that right? 20, 20, 20. Is that 20?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
20,
20.
$25,000 jobs. Okay, cool. Not 50, 20, a
Hey,
lot less
more
than that, right?
achievable. We're already, man, we just cut
Okay, bingo. My,
it.
my my math we carved out, right? So let's put a big red X on the 50. Cool. Let's make this even more palatable. So you're telling me we'll only have to do 20, $25,000 job.
Right.
So you're telling me that a quick serve restaurant like a McDonald's parking lot that needs to pass RGR inspection every single year from corporate down, make the franchisees maintain their own parking lots. You're telling me that that lot on average is 25,000 square feet.
Right.
McDonald's and Chick-fil-A's and Burger King's, they're about 25,000 square
Yeah.
feet, right? So
Absolutely.
if we need to get 25 grand, possibly, it means that we could seal coat, catch basin repairs, seal stripe, right? Like done.
Hmm.
Like that's a possible $25,000 job. I'm just throwing this out there hypothetically, right?
Right.
Okay, check. So we only need to do 20 of them.
Yeah.
If we're converting proposals at a 25% rate, then that means we need to put out
About 80 of
40,
them.
80 of them. There's your math. 40, 60, 80, 80 of them. 80 proposals.
Yeah.
So if you were hunting targets that were in that realm of $25,000 jobs on average, we would only need to put out 80 proposals
Yeah.
to achieve that number of the
Yeah.
$25,000.
That's easy. I mean, that's like, you know what, during the actual peak season, maybe two a week.
So now that everybody knows that my math was totally terrible throughout that whole
Oh man,
process,
yeah. Yeah.
but I
Me
want I want
too.
pe- I want people no, but I want people thinking about this, man. So
Mhm.
if we need to put out a total of 80 proposals to win 20 at 25,000 a piece, that's one set of math. It doesn't mean that that's what we're hunting.
Right.
If we're doing $12,500 jobs, it means we just double that, right? So
Right.
we're doing 40 jobs and we have to put out 160 proposals, right?
There we go. Yeah.
All right, cool. So what if we hypothetically said this? All right, we're self-performing, right? We have the Airbus 300 that's going to be on the way. We're self-performing on these
Let's go.
projects that are average job price hypothetically of 12 and a half or 25 or whatever you set in your revenue roadmap, right? Cool. Now, what happens when, let's say that there's a list of enriched prospects that you got out of Apollo.io, and those enriched lists of prospects were account-based facility management type of targets for property management, and you had that list in Apollo.io, and then you had a phone system that was a multi-dialer where you were able to dial 5 calls on every push of the button, and on those 5 calls, your connection rate multiplies by 5 times because you're dialing 5 numbers at a time. And let's say that you're calling with the same pavement assessment appointment setting script that we have in the vault, and you're reading that script out in the vault that we have that's
Mhm.
proven. And you read it out and you book pavement assessment appointments, which are like medical reports for people's parking lots. And
Yeah.
it's a consultative sales approach. Imagine that you were doing that all day, strapping yourself, doing that all day, getting pavement assessment appointments booked on your calendar. Then you go do your pavement assessments, you complete them, deliver them, move them in your pipeline to a proposal, to pricing now, because assessment doesn't have the price. You move it to proposal and you convert those at 25%. Now we take that at your point where you're targeting properties that are not $2,000 jobs or $500 jobs. We're going after larger complexes, larger hotels, motels, facilities, quick serve restaurants, right?
For sure.
Now what you do is you say, you know what? I don't want to be the one making the calls. I'm going to hire an appointment setter.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to hire an appointment setter that I'm going to teach to read the script and push the button on the multi-dollar. And all they're going to do is dial those and book them on my schedule, and they're going to send me a WhatsApp message with ringing the bells every time they book a meeting. And I'll tell you right now, appointment setters that I know, that I train, that our team train for other companies,
Yeah.
they're booking 3 to 4 appointments a day
Let's
of the
go.
right kind of appointments. And that's where the difference is the difference. If we go out there and we are hunting a goal, we better be building the machine that can actually achieve the goal, because if we're hand cranking this on our own, it can get exhausting and daunting and drinking from a fire hose and stressful. And then you don't have time for your family and your children.
Yeah.
Building a business should not mean that you can't give awesome attention to your family.
Yeah.
Building a business means that you've built the machine that allows you to have more time and freedom with your family and make lots more money.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. I mean, like working smarter, buying back your time, just using the systems and the technology in place to like let it help you, get more leads and get more jobs. And yeah, I'm really excited for that next step that I'm taking. Really excited for it, truly.
I'm going to share something right now. Okay, check this out. This is awesome stuff. Share my screen. Check this out. I'm just going to throw this up here, and I just want to show, like, this is yesterday right here. This is one of our,
Darn.
oh, can you see it?
Yeah. A lot
My
of bells.
WhatsApp. This is an appointment setter for one of the companies that we're coaching right now. This is yesterday alone. Booked, bells, booked, bells, booked, bells, booked, bells, more bells, brother. That's
Gone, man.
five.
That's getting
That
serious.
that's 5 appointments in one day that you, as an owner, didn't have to make one phone call. That appointment setter is just dialing 100 calls a day, man, booking it on your schedule for pavement assessments. So guess what you're doing now as an owner?
Yeah.
You're out in the field doing assessments, shaking people's hand, closing deals, making money, getting it on the schedule for your team to go out and work. Now, what happens when you don't want to be out in the field doing those pavement assessments and sales? You hire a salesperson on, do a performance-based model with that salesperson. Again, built the machine. Setter, prospect, enrich prospect, appointment setter, salesperson out in field closing deals, operations team, you as an owner reading your financial statements and building culture in your organization. Growth, man. And that for me is what excites me so much about you, because of the history and knowledge that you have from a facility management. Now you have some of the components that are going to be really important to grow and scale. I will challenge you with this. This is my challenge that I was mentioning earlier. I think 500,000 is weak. I think you can self-perform 500,000, but I think you could sell an additional million in subcontracted performance partner accomplished work, meaning mill and paves, new installation, concrete work. Right now, your prospect list for potential customers is one prospect. Your next prospects list should be performance partners, companies that are going to go perform projects. You already know how to sub work.
Yeah,
With facility management, you understand how that whole world works.
for sure.
Primescape Solutions doesn't need to be the one performing the landscaping, doesn't need to be the ones that's doing the mulching. It doesn't need to be the one that's doing the asphalt mill and paves, because you don't have pavers and rollers and millers. What you do have the opportunity, though, is to build a beautiful market sales, then chooses to self-perform on your work or sub. And
Yeah,
that's where I think you can go to 1.5 million real fast. Why? Because you only need 12 and a half $85,000 paving jobs to hit another million.
yeah,
Only 12 and a half, which means you need to put out 50 $85,000 paving quotes to get your 12 and a half jobs. This is a math game, numbers game. I've watched people build businesses, brother, like transparently, to go out and make 100, 200, $500,000 a year. And as soon as they change that mental shift to, I'm a pavement asset management company, marketing sales company, I can now go to the moon. I've watched people build multi-million, like Jason Morales out in Denver, Colorado, multi-million-dollar company. He doesn't even own a shovel. And so I'm throwing this out there because
yeah.
I think that $500,000 target, I think you should challenge yourself with it. And if you need help with the roadmap, we'll help you.
Yeah. Well, and I love that. I love the challenge and I'm open, ready to do it. And see, that's something that I have to get, kind of that paradigm shift in my mind because, I worked in facilities maintenance. One of my specialties was finding efficiencies that we would find work that was subcontracted and self-perform. So I'm always geared to self-perform, but I need to, kind of wrap my head around, what's going to be best for the business and future growth. And so yeah, that's a good challenge. I love it and I'm open for it. And yeah, ready to.
So I'll give you another idea, right? Like on the round table, on the AK round table on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. I've watched a guy named Miller Diggs, who I know very, very well. He's actually in Wilmington,
Okay.
and he owns Harbor Seal Coating, and awesome company. They did 500K in their first year, and they're going to crush it this year. But my point here is this: They got into a project that was like 300,000 square feet and they just couldn't do it with their rig. It was too small to do 300,000 square feet in a fast period of time because of the customer's need.
Right.
So you know what he did? You know what he did?
Subbed it out.
No, he just, in this case, he self-performed some of it, but he called up Coach Schuyler, who's in Pennsylvania in Anvil. And he's like, dude, come down with your rigs. Come down and help me finish this job. Let's
Oh,
partner on the
cool.
deal. And all of a sudden, the network, the AK network came together, man, and literally completed the project in a faster timeline than what the customer wanted. And everybody made money.
That's
We had
amazing.
another example. We had coaches fly from New York all the way to Utah to do an exotic car dealership, a 400,000 square foot lot. Literally flew people there to just
Yeah.
get the project done. And I think that that's so important is you're not alone. You don't have to self-perform everything, although you can self-perform with partners or do whatever. But that's the thing in this industry that's so beautiful is that we've been able to take this mindset of competition and build partnerships with each other so that we can do this. Again, brother, you're building a marketing and sales
Yeah.
first that then provides whatever services are after. Take that mindset shift and put it there. And I'm telling you, the sky's the limit, dude. Like you've got it. It's right in front of you, man. Right in
Yeah.
front of you.
Thank you. No, I love that. And that is great. I mean, because like you said, there's parking lots everywhere you look. It's like, there's enough pieces of the pie where we can all get some and we can all win and do, work together, grow more, grow together and all just kind of win at on the same time.
How does it feel? How does it feel for you with the family to know that you're building this business and that this is something that you get to look back on as you grow old, man, and that you've made a decision, your life and your family's life?
Yeah. So, I mean, what I told my wife is that, like, I'll never regret this. Like, I've wanted to have my own business, since I've been 18 years old. I'm 32 now, and just finally going for it. Like, I've loved every minute of it. It's a very weird feeling, going from just steady income, I can always count on this to, hey, I can do way better. It's up to me. And I've just loved that feeling of like that pressure, providing for my family. And it's like, I'm not going to let them down and, learning these tools and getting this, better equipment and just all the things that it takes. Like I'm all in and I love just seeing like the work that I've put in so far. Like I'm starting to stack really good days and like, I'm not one to get complacent. So it's like yesterday, actually, I closed on it was like a 15,000 square foot church parking lot, but I closed on that yesterday afternoon. And then today, this morning, met with that property manager who had 3 properties. And so it's like, I love these and it's getting me so like truly like just gassed up for the next one. And but it's like just one win isn't like, I don't stop at a win. It's like, that's a good win. Let's get another big one. Let's get a better win. Let's do better, more, more, more. And, it's like just understanding that it's like, this is a business. And like you said, I don't want to be like a one-off, like, oh, I'll have a customer this one time and then I'll have to find another customer. It's like, once you become my customer, like you're my customer for life. That's my goal. And like how I achieve that is like giving good quality pricing, great quality as far as like the work goes, good communication, like every step of the way. And so I want their experience with me to be like top tier where they're like, they almost hate to see that I'm finished with the job. They're like, man, we really enjoyed working with Ben at Primescape Solutions. Like, wish he had something else to do for us. So, I mean, that's like kind of the level of like service that I want to offer to people is like, let them know I really am in their corner and, whatever asphalt needs they have, it's like, I'm there for them and I'm going to do it to the highest quality standard.
Man, you're a good guy, man. Like just the way that you're communicating and the way that you are communicating right now, you can tell that there's a set of core values that you operate from, and that culture is going fueled by those core values as you're building your business. And that culture, man, spins right into your people, your brand, your customers. I mean, it becomes a mag and continue to do what you're doing, man. And I say something often. I'm like the roller coaster ride of being an entrepreneur is a lot of fun, but the less steep the ups and downs, the better. And the way that you do that is by making sure that you stack your calendar with the right kind of actions that are going to drive the reaction and make sure that you're staying really hyper focused on your deal pipeline, on your
Mm-hmm.
pipeline. Don't pavement assessments and proposals drive convert. Don't load it on the front end of your pipeline. You can get into challenge. And I've seen people in self-performing models, including myself years ago, was where I'd close a bunch of deals, I'd load it up on my calendar, then I'd go do the work. But while I was going to do the work, I wasn't loading the front end of my pipeline. It came sell jobs, perform them, sell jobs, perform them, sell job, and that created financial stress in the family and in the company because we were unsure of what was coming next because we were so busy self-performing. Never stop marketing, never stop selling. It has
Yeah.
to stay consistent all the way through. Never stop.
Okay.
Always have this conversation. When you stop for gas, when you stop at a restaurant, it's always a card out to have the conversation. Who's the person responsible for the pavement asset? That should always be happening.
Yeah.
That's some of the best advice I'll give, man, is keep your calendar full, keep your pipeline rocking.
Yeah, and that's what I know that's one thing I need to work on because like you said, that's kind of where I'm at right now is like sell work, do work, sell work, do work. And I'm trying to get to the point where it's like, I need to be selling all the time, even while I'm doing the work and, making sure that it's not like, week to week. Well, what am I going to do this week? I don't, depends on what jobs I sold last week. It's like I'm trying to get to the point where I'm, have plenty of leads and plenty of jobs in the pipeline where it's like we know what we're going to be doing and we just need to keep selling and getting bigger jobs
and build that team early as you can. The risk associated, like if you I mean you're all in, right? So you need to build some cash flow to make sure that things are taken care of at home related to budget and these kind of things. But you also don't want to get into the pattern of that where you're being ultra conservative in the way that you're handling your money. You should be conservative in the way that you're handling your money, but you should be investing into the business so that it frees your time up to do things that are going to have deeper and higher impact, right? You need to be working on your business as you grow it. In your business is important, but not long.
hmm
Know your business, become a master of your business, but also be ready to hire on those appointment setters, those salespeople, get them trained up, and make sure you have an ops team to go out and fulfill the work. So again, grow those enterprise level.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Where can people find you? Like, if they're wanting to check you out, I know that there's a lot of property owners that end up watching these videos as well, and there's contractors that are inspired. Where can people find you on social, on
Yeah.
website, or?
So right now I've got my website, www.primescape-solutions.com. And then I have, Facebook page as well. Still, like I said, I'm still trying to get used to social media. I've not been one to use it a lot in the past. So it's like that's a kind of a steep learning curve for me, just like not even learning curve, I would say, as much as it's like, like a personal development kind of thing where it's like I know that I need to like improve on that area. And so kind of getting out of my comfort zone and just like continually just go, 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 like you said, it's selling, social media, people have eyes on what you're doing in your business. And so that's one area that I'm trying to really work on because I do feel like that's an area where I'm kind of behind where I'd like to be. So having a better online presence is something that's important to me, like, to kind of prove to myself this season and then just keep going as far as, getting better next year and just continuing, like keeping that traffic on, Primescape Solutions.
If I was going to buy your business, what I would be looking at as a buyer is I'd be looking at the marketing that you have. So I'd be
Mhm.
looking at your website, your Facebook business page, your Instagram business page, profile. I'd be looking at your LinkedIn business professional profile. The Google My Business would be really important to know that there's a lot of great reviews in there. And if there's any bad ones, that they've been responded to properly to turn somebody who had a bad experience into a raving fan.
Mhm.
I'd want to see photos and consistency that actually are being updated in Google Business Profile. And then there's one thing that I would be looking at that's super, super important to me as well as it relates to marketing. And it's where 99% of people in our industry do not spend any of their or invest any of their time. It's you.
Yeah.
How did
That's
you
where I
find
found
that?
you
How did you
guys.
find it? Right. Of
Yeah.
course you did. Of course
Yeah.
you did. And guess where everybody else is usually finding other people out there that are on the front line of marketing as a world-class operator.
Yeah.
And so for you, dude, you speak so well. You're a good looking dude. You've got a good business. You're a family guy. Man, if you just literally went to Chat T and you said, what are the top 5 videos that I should film out on a parking lot for my local service area? What are those top 5 videos? And what should the titles of those videos be? And what should the descriptions be for those videos? And what should the tags be for them? It will lay out exactly what it is to do. And those top 5 videos would now be a part of your YouTube channel, optimized for your local area, for the services that you provide. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden you have that. I created this omni-channel environment, website, social media, YouTube, Google Business Profile. You've created these omni-channel opportunities for leads to come in, but also establishing the social proof that's needed. So when people are looking you up after you've given them a proposal, they find you everywhere and they're like, Ben's awesome.
Yeah.
Primescape
Yeah.
Solutions is the best. And so build that, man. That's the foundation. And then from a sales standpoint, continue to push, understand your objection handling, your talk tracks, and really closer framework and these kind of things. As a gift to you, I don't know if you do have access to the AK Vault already.
I don't think I do.
$5,000 value. So we usually sell it for 5 grand. I'm going to give it to you because I think it's really, really important
Thank you.
that
Thank
you
you.
have access to that. But it's 20 years worth of my knowledge and experience inside of the vault. It's called AK Vault. And I'm going to give that to you. I think there's call scripts in there, there's talk tracks, there's objection handling, open-ended question lines. We've got all kinds of real stuff that I think will be helpful to you and your team as well as you grow it. So I'm going to give you access to that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Pleasure. So when
I was gonna say, just like I said, from the get-go, like, finding you on YouTube, kind of just seeing, the starting point, where it can grow to, like, you really did inspire me. So I like truly appreciate like this conversation and like the motivation and the challenges that you've set forth. It's like I'm gassed up and ready just to like turn the next page and just like keep going. So I'm pumped. I really am. Like I said, I'm getting that Air Boss today, or, I'm ordering it today. And that's just going to give me even
congrats.
more confidence to take that next step. So I'm fired up. Like, we've got 2 good months left this season, and I'm going to make the most of every single day.
And then pothole hunting's this on season too, man. A lot of people say, like straight up, a lot of people are like, well, I'm going into the latter part of the season, which means that there's going to be some downtime. And I'm like, if you speak to any of the veterans that are out there that have really, really crushed it, man, winter is the time where everybody's hibernating, and that's where we go in and actually make the most amount of money. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is there's money to be made in solving pain points for property owners because other companies are not mobilizing to go do that work. So catch basin repairs, you're going in to do pothole repairs, any kind of tripping hazard. That solves pain when other companies are not doing it because they're hibernating. Now you solve the pain, right? You've given them the aspirin. Well,
Hmm.
now that you've solved the pain, they start to know, like, and trust you because you've solved their pain, and then
Right.
selling them the vitamins coming into next season and pre-scheduling. Like you should have 500,000 on your books by May
Yeah.
because you've done all the selling, pre-selling during the winter months and into spring, like legitimately, man. And that's the opportunity. So please, 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 the historical mindset around asphalt maintenance is that we're going into off season. And I'm like, you guys got to change your mindset. We're
Yeah.
going into season, man. This is
Right.
the opportunity.
Season number
Yeah.
2.
And I would also say that, Primescape can also do as you go into the fall months and winter months, you can do a branding shift for your winter months. And the branding shift is we're pothole hunters. Like we're literally getting rid of your liabilities, your accident tripping hazard. You just start putting marketing out around that and you communicate in that style and shock amount of
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm doing this full time, so that's
let's go.
whatever it takes.
Cool. Well, everyone, you've heard it. I mean, Primescape Solutions, go check them out. I'm on their website right now, primescape-solutions.com. Awesome website Ben's put up. Ben, you're an awesome guy, man. Congratulations on freeing yourself from the shackles of a job
Yeah,
that it's not easy to break away from, man. So congratulations on that.
thank you.
We're here for you throughout the journey. We appreciate the opportunity to be a part of your journey, and please do keep in touch.
I will. And, too, I just want to shout out my rep, Addy. He's been amazing. Love working with him, communicating with him. I told him every time, like when we're done with our conversation, like, dude, I always feel so much more gassed up, like ready to go. So great group of people that you guys have there. And, just as far as like the nervousness that I had, to start or, to ask certain questions, like there's no dumb question that, well, maybe there has been, but, everyone's always been very helpful with me and any little concerns that I have, put them to rest and giving me a lot of clarity on things. So great, thank you for everything you've done for me, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what's next.
Yeah, thank you for what you've done for us too, man. It's awesome. You continue. It's your journeys that inspire art too, right? There's a lighthouse in the background. I'm tattooed with a lighthouse down my arm, and it's
Let's
like
go.
we're committed. That's one of our core values. We have a set of core values. Just before we leave, for those of you that are building a business or considering, I would start out by actually just writing down the things that are going to be your guiding rails, your guiding light, and having 4 or 5 core values that you're going to operate from, so that when you're building your business, sometimes things get hard. They do get hard. They're challenging and these kind of things. But as long as you have those core values, you can kind of come back onto those those core values, right? And that creates culture in your business. Ours is passionate about helping people, positive in all situations, striving to be our best lighthouse in all interactions and then pay it forward. Like those are our core values. Our team, like the back of their hand. And we literally, when, you know, in our company group chats or on roundtable or something goes on with the customer or something that we might be challenged with, we just say, are we aligned with our core values in the way that are we off track? Let's get back on it, team. We remember this is what we're committed to. This is what drives us. So
Yeah.
Ben, thanks again for everything, for all your time. For anyone that's on here right now watching, please do know that there's a description down below. We've also got a link to Ben's social media and also to his website. So feel free to reach out to Ben at any point in time. Elkin, North Carolina, anything to do with pavement asset management, you know, they're the guys.
Hit me up. Hit me
Yeah,
up.
there you go, man. And I cannot wait. You know, there's one thing I cannot wait for. I cannot wait for the 2.0 version of this we will do next September 12th,
Let's do it. Let's do
2026,
it.
man.
I would love that, man. Yeah. So that's a good goal. I'm 1.5. You know, I'm
1.5.
tripling my goal. So I hope to, just be talking with you, Primescape Solutioned out, and
Let's go.
just bringing some good news and some motivation for other people.
Awesome, man. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this freestyle jam. Hopefully, you've got a lot of value here. And of course, click those links down below. Don't forget, push subscribe and click that like button. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
All right. Thank you. Bye.